household throws away nearly a third of everything that comes out of the kitchen, completely unaware that they are tossing thousands of dollars worth of premium medical-grade plant medicine directly into the trash. We spend fortunes on synthetic fertilizers that burn our soil, chemical pesticides that leave a lingering residue on our food, and expensive commercial sprays that promise miracles but deliver empty pockets. The truth that large chemical companies do not want you to realize is that the ultimate pharmacy for your garden is already sitting right inside your kitchen pantry, completely free of cost and entirely non-toxic to your children and pets. When you understand how to look at common, everyday household items as potent agricultural tools, your relationship with your land changes forever. You stop fighting nature with expensive inputs and start collaborating with her using the simple, brilliant wisdom that humans have relied on for generations. Before we dive deep into these hidden household secrets, I want to invite you to join our growing global family by clicking that subscribe button so we can keep walking this natural path together. Take a quick moment right now to drop your location down in the comments. Whether you are tending a small window box in a bustling city, managing a lush backyard patch in a quiet district, or looking after wide acres of farmland in the countryside, it is genuinely beautiful to watch our community connect from every corner of the world. And knowing exactly where you are cultivating your dreams help me understand how the air, the soil, and the seasons are shaping your daily journey with your plants. The absolute best place to start this journey of discovery is right in your morning routine. Specifically with that dark, rich pile of wet coffee grounds left behind in your machine or French press. Most people dump these aromatic remains right into the garbage bin without a second thought. But to a gardener or a small-scale farmer, this is pure black gold that smells faintly of roasted earth and hidden potential. When coffee beans are roasted and brewed, the acidity is largely washed away into your mug, leaving behind a highly textured substance that is exceptionally rich in nitrogen, potassium, and magnesium. This makes it a stellar, slow-release structural fertilizer and a natural deterrent for crawling pests like slugs and snails, who simply cannot tolerate the abrasive texture of the tiny granules on their soft bodies. To prepare this simple remedy for an everyday household, all you need to do is spread your daily coffee waste thinly onto an old baking sheet and let it dry out completely in the sun until it feels like coarse, powdery sand. If you leave it wet, it will develop a white layer of mold that you do not want near your plants. For a home gardener with a collection of container pots or a neat kitchen bed, you can lightly scratch about 2 tablespoons of these dried grounds directly into the top inch of soil around your heavy feeders, like tomatoes, roses, and blueberries. If you are a farmer working with a larger acreage or a long row of crops, you can collect these grounds from local coffee shops for free, load them into a side dressing spreader, and apply a light band along your planting rows at a rate of roughly 100 pounds per acre. The absolute best time to apply this is early in the morning when the dew is still clinging to the leaves, and you should repeat this process once every month during the active growing season to give your plants a steady, vibrant green boost. But here is where it gets really interesting, because your breakfast waste holds another massive secret that can completely transform the health of your soil from the ground up, and that is the humble eggshell. If you look closely at a crisp white or brown eggshell, you are looking at a nearly pure concentration of calcium carbonate, which is the exact same compound found in expensive agricultural lime. Calcium is the fundamental structural building block of the plant world, acting like the mortar between bricks to create strong, thick cell walls that can withstand fierce winds and resist fungal invasions. Without enough calcium in the earth, your tomatoes will develop that heartbreaking black rot on the bottom, known as blossom end rot, and your peppers will turn soft and mushy before they even have a chance to ripen. To turn this kitchen waste into a highly bioavailable plant supplement, you want to rinse a dozen eggshells under cold water, let them dry, and then bake them in your oven at roughly 200 degrees for about 10 minutes to eliminate any lingering bacteria. Once they are crisp and toasted, crush them down into a fine, chalky powder using an old blender or a simple mortar and pestle until it looks like fine white flour. For the home gardener, you can toss a small handful of this fine powder directly into the planting hole whenever you are transplanting young seedlings, or sprinkle a tablespoon around the base of your established greens. For a medium-scale farmer who needs to cover a much larger field, you can steep this fine eggshell powder in common household white vinegar at a ratio of 1 cup of powder to 10 cups of vinegar for a few weeks to create a powerful, liquid calcium acetate spray. You can then dilute this liquid into your backpack sprayer at a rate of 2 tablespoons per gallon of water and apply it as a fine foliar mist over your entire crop. This should be done late in the evening when the intense heat of the day has passed, allowing the leaves to slowly drink in the liquid throughout the cool night, and it works wonders when applied every 2 weeks during the early flowering phase. Most people throw this next item away without realizing what it can do. But your grandmother probably knew this one inside and out, though somehow it got forgotten along the way as modern chemical products took over the shelves. I am talking about the simple, everyday yellow and red onion skins that accumulate at the bottom of your pantry basket, drying out into brittle, paper-thin sheets that rustle like autumn leaves when you touch them. These discarded outer layers are packed with heavy concentrations of quercetin, a potent antioxidant, along with high levels of potassium, iron, and sulfur, which act as a natural immune system booster for weak plants and a fantastic systemic shield against fungal diseases. To harness this ancient household wisdom, gather a large double handful of dry onion skins, place them into a clean glass jar, and pour 1 quart of boiling water directly over them until they are completely submerged. Let this vibrant mixture sit on your counter for 24 hours until the water transforms into a deep, rich amber fluid that smells intensely earthy and sharp. For an everyday household looking after delicate indoor houseplants, you can use this liquid at full strength to water your plants once a week, providing a gentle nutritional drink that keeps the leaves glossy and deep green. If you are a home gardener or a farmer dealing with a larger outdoor patch, you can strain this liquid into a standard garden spray bottle or a large agricultural pump container, diluting it with equal parts fresh rainwater. Spray this golden liquid thoroughly over the entire surface of your crops, making sure to coat the undersides of the leaves where harmful fungal spores love to hide. The ideal time to apply this protective mist is during the late winter and spring months when the air is damp and cool, right as the first signs of new growth appear, repeating the application every 10 days to maintain a strong, natural barrier against blight and powdery mildew. Now, if you think onion skins are impressive, wait until you see what happens when you open your bathroom cabinet and pull out a bag of common Epsom salt. While it carries the name salt, this crystalline compound is actually pure magnesium sulfate, a mineral combination that acts like a direct shot of pure energy for the chlorophyll production in your garden. Magnesium is the central atom in the chlorophyll molecule, which means without it, your plants lose their ability to efficiently turn sunlight into food, resulting in pale, yellowing leaves with dark green veins and stunted, listless growth. If you notice your citrus trees or pepper plants looking washed out and tired, this household crystal is exactly what they are begging for. To prepare a highly effective tonic for an everyday household, dissolve 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt into a single gallon of lukewarm water, shaking the container vigorously until the white crystals have completely vanished and the water looks crystal clear. For home gardeners with a backyard bed or a collection of patio pots, you can use a standard watering can to pour this mineral-rich solution directly over the root zone of your plants until the soil is thoroughly saturated and smells like clean, wet stone. If you are a farmer looking to treat an entire field of crops, you can scale this recipe up by dissolving 20 pounds of Epsom salt into 100 gallons of water per acre, running it directly through your drip irrigation lines or utilizing a tractor-mounted boom sprayer. For the absolute best results, apply this treatment during the early morning hours just as the sun is rising, which allows the plants to utilize the fresh influx of magnesium during their peak hours of photosynthesis. And repeat the application once every 3 weeks until your harvest is complete. The journey into household remedies takes an incredibly powerful turn when we look at a staple found in almost every kitchen around the globe, and that is pure, raw garlic. Garlic contains a volatile, sulfur-rich compound called allicin, which is released the exact moment the cell walls of the clove are ruptured or crushed. To insects and microscopic pests, this pungent aroma is not just an unpleasant smell, it is a devastating, physiologically disruptive force that scrambles their sensory receptors and makes your garden completely unhostile territory for them. To build a definitive, all-natural pest control shield, using this kitchen giant, take 3 entire bulbs of garlic, separate them into individual cloves, and crush them completely using the flat side of a heavy knife or a kitchen press. Toss these crushed cloves into a blender with 1 quart of water and 2 tablespoons of common liquid dish soap, which acts as a crucial emulsifier to help the mixture stick to the plants. Blend the mixture on high until it forms a thick, milky white liquid, then strain it through a fine piece of cheesecloth into a storage container. For an everyday household or a home gardener, take a 1/4 cup of this concentrated garlic fluid, mix it into a standard spray bottle filled with fresh water, and mist it over your ornamental flowers or vegetable beds. For a small to medium-scale farmer facing an invasion of aphids, thrips, or whiteflies across a larger crop, this concentrate can be mixed into a large backpack sprayer, at a ratio of 1 pint of garlic, concentrate to 5 gallons of water. Walk your rows steadily, thoroughly drenching the foliage from top to bottom until the entire field smells like a bustling Italian kitchen. This protective spray should always be applied during the early morning or late evening to prevent the sun from burning the treated leaves, and it should be used once a week during peak pest seasons, or immediately after a heavy rain has washed the previous layer away. But what happens when the issue isn't insects, but rather an acidic soil imbalance or a sudden cold snap that threatens to freeze the tender roots of your hard work? This is when you step out to your fireplace or your backyard fire pit and harvest the soft, gray wood ash left behind from burning clean hardwoods. Wood ash is an incredible, ancient source of pure potassium and calcium, elements that are absolutely vital for root development, water regulation, and helping your plants survive extreme weather stress. When you gently run your fingers through a bucket of dry wood ash, it should feel as soft and smooth as talcum powder, carrying that comforting, smoky scent of winter evenings. To use this household byproduct safely, you must ensure that the ash comes only from untreated, natural wood, completely free of any chemical fire starters, plastics, or charcoal briquette residues. For the home gardener managing a few raised beds or a small orchard, you can lightly dust a thin layer of dry ash directly over the surface of the soil, using roughly 1 cup per 10 square feet, and gently rake it into the top layer before watering thoroughly. If you are a small farmer looking to sweeten an acidic field, or prepare a large plot for a heavy feeding crop, you can broadcast this ash evenly across your rows at a rate of roughly 15 pounds per 1,000 square feet. It is absolutely vital to apply wood ash on a calm, windless evening so the fine powder doesn't blow away into your face, and it should only be used once a year in the early spring or late autumn, because its high alkalinity can quickly alter your soil chemistry if overdone. As you begin to look at your home through the eyes of a natural gardener, you quickly realize that even the simple box of baking soda sitting in the back of your refrigerator is a powerful agricultural weapon. Sodium bicarbonate is a natural amphoteric compound, meaning it can regulate pH levels and create an incredibly hostile environment for fungal spores like powdery mildew, which manifests as a ghostly white dust across the deep green leaves of your pumpkins and cucumbers. To create an effective antifungal wash, mix 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of common vegetable oil into 1 gallon of water, stirring gently until the oil is completely broken down into tiny, invisible droplets. For an everyday household or a home gardener, you can pour this mixture into a hand pump sprayer and mist it over your affected plants, the very moment you see those first telltale white spots appearing on the leaves. For a larger agricultural operation, This solution can be scaled up to 3 pounds of baking soda per 100 gallons of water, ensuring your fields receive a thorough, protective wash that halts the spread of fungal diseases without introducing harsh chemical residues into the local watershed. This treatment is most effective when applied during the late afternoon as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. And it should be repeated every 7 days during humid, sticky weather, when fungal pressures are at their absolute highest. Whether you are watching this from a high-rise apartment balcony, with just a few precious pots of herbs lining the railing, a quiet suburban backyard with a neatly fenced kitchen garden, or the middle of a vast farming field surrounded by acres of rolling crops, this channel and this community are here to support your journey toward a more natural, sustainable way of growing. I want to say a deeply genuine thank you for spending this valuable time with me today, for investing in your knowledge, and for choosing solutions that honor the health of your family and the earth beneath your feet.